everyone. My name is Emanuelli. Manu, everybody calls me Manu. I am the bilingual coordinator here at Salle High School. And I would like to thank Kellie Paes, our guide, for the opportunity to have this conversation in English, to provide this moment to our students and dear friends here. We have friends, we have teachers, we have students, right? So I will record this conversation so you can watch it again anytime you want. And you guys can write on the chat here, and then the girls are going to help me later on. And I would like you, please, to ask you to keep your mic off for now. And later on, we can open to talk to you. Everybody can ask questions and you can have this conversation, okay? So thank you, Kellie. And I would like you to talk a little bit about you and how your family ended up here living in Lucas do Rio Verde, Mato Grosso, right? So
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about you, please?
Yeah. So my husband and I moved here November 2019. So that would be last November. And we moved here for my husband's work. So he works for FS and for a company called Summit, which is another agriculture group. And we moved here with our two kids, Madalena, who just turned 8, and Theodore, who is almost 5. And we brought our dog with us. So we have our whole family. So yeah, we moved here in November and the kids started La Salle right away once we moved here. So.
Right. I remember you guys.
Yeah.
Very good. Kellie, let's start with our theme, right?
Yeah.
Let me start with something. We know that learning another language is beneficial. For example, we can connect with people around the world in other cultures. We can advance our career. We can feed our brain. We can travel. We become a polyglot, right? We can boost our confidence. We gain perspective and so many other reasons and motivations to learn another language. So talking about this, I'd like to know, how was your first experience with another language, with Portuguese, for example?
Yeah, so my first trip to Brazil was my first exposure to Portuguese. And it was in 2007, so it was a very long time ago. I was really surprised when I wrote that. So 2007, and what happened was my father-in-law, he is really big in Rotary, and school, and it was a poor public school, and nobody there spoke any English. So it was really hard, but it was really good because that was my first exposure, and it really forced me to kind of learn. And after that, in 2012, we moved to Sao Paulo, and my daughter Madalena was born there. And after she was born, I took a whole bunch of Portuguese classes privately, and I learned a whole bunch, and I was really pretty good at it. I think I had the base of the language down, and I got a lot of my vocabulary there too. So I learned a lot of the words. And then we moved back to the US for 5 years, and I didn't speak any Portuguese for 5 years, and I forgot a whole bunch. So after forgetting a whole bunch, now we moved back. And so now I'm working on relearning everything.
Okay. So, and you were catching up with the Portuguese?
Yes, I'm catching up. Yep. It's easy when you're surrounded by it because you have to talk it.
Of course, yeah. I didn't know Maddie was born here. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe you told me, and I really didn't know. Very good. Okay, and what was or is, in your opinion, the most challenging aspect about learning, in your case, Portuguese? I want the guys here to know that learning another language is not as easy as everybody thinks, right? Everybody has your challenging things and the difficulties, and I would like them to know about that. So
Yeah.
what is the most challenging thing for you?
For me, the hardest thing for Portuguese is the feminine masculine, just because English doesn't have that, you know. So I have to figure out what words are feminine and what words are masculine, you know, a boy or a girl. So that's really hard for me. And also changing words for, you know, eu, você, ele, ela, you know, nós, when you have to change those words, since we don't do that in English too, that's always kind of a challenge for me.
You mean that the pronouns when we conjugate the verbs?
Yes.
Right. Yeah, I know. That's kind of hard. That's how everybody complains about learning Portuguese
Yes.
or Spanish, right?
Exactly.
Very good. In English, we have the difficulties about we use one word for many meanings, like phrasal verbs and all those structures that sometimes we mess up with the things. For example, break, but break is something, but breakdown is another thing. So this is something difficult for us to learn.
Yes.
We have many things going on.
Yes.
All right.
And it's funny because now that I'm teaching English to some people, I'm seeing words that like I didn't think about, you know, because when you're speaking a language that you know, you just don't think words sound the same. Like I never knew kitchen and chicken, you know, sounded the same. And then my husband one time kept messing those two words up. So it's really funny to see that.
Right, because we have that in Portuguese as well, right?
Yes.
Very good. And I think learning English is easier than foreigners learning, for example, Portuguese and Spanish. Do you agree with that? What do you think?
I mean, I've never really had to learn English, you know, because it was what I was raised with. But
Right.
I hear that a lot, that English is it's a less complex language, you know, than Portuguese. So of course it's easy, you know, for me because I speak English since I was a baby, but
Right.
I do think English is a less complex language. But like you said, I mean, it's just kind of learning the tricks to every language. So.
Does your husband help you?
You know, he is a really bad teacher. He does not have any patience.
You guys speak English, right?
We speak all English in the house. Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
It's easier for him, maybe, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Very good. And talking about something interesting for us here at school, because for example, I lived in the U.S. for many years, so I learned American English. But I have many friends, and now the books, the material we work at La Salle is British English, right? So we have two accents. And is it difficult to understand some of them? Like you being American, do you think it's difficult to understand other accents around the world?
I have a really funny story for this. So when we lived in Sao Paulo, after my daughter was born, I was looking for a friend. I was like, I need a mom who speaks English. Is anybody out there? And this woman who was from Australia messaged me. And she was like, oh, I would love to meet you. You know, we were writing and I understood everything perfectly. And then she called me and I couldn't understand her on the phone. I was just like, is she speaking English? You know, because it was so different. So after I got used to it, it's kind of a learning curve, you know, like you have to get used to how they pronounce the words. And to this day, we're still really close friends and we still call each other about once a month. But yeah, it was just kind of funny because I had to learn to listen to her English a little bit differently than I do to my friends.
Great. I had I don't know if it was embarrassing or I was struggling when I first went to the United States. I was working in a hotel, and then there was this couple. They were from England. Maybe England because they spoke British English, and then they asked me, "What's the soap of the day?" Like, what's the soap of the day? And then I didn't really understand them, and then I came back with many soaps in my hand. I had maybe like 5 soaps on my hand, and then I gave to the lady, and then she was kind of like she was thinking, and then I think she realized, and she says, "Oh no, dear, what's the soup of the day? What's the soup of the day?" And I gave her so many soaps, and I was embarrassed. And by the time I was okay, I learned once another thing. Every day was something to learn there, and then there was something that I really remember because I was so embarrassed, but now I know that I'm not gonna mess it up again.
Yeah.
For the soup and the soap. So that's fine. Everybody goes through that, right?
Yes. Yeah. We all have our experiences, embarrassing stories from another language, I'm sure.
Right, especially when we live in the country, because you have to go through many things like 24/7 all the time.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Very good. And what are the differences between the US? Where are you there? Were you born there? Were you living there? What state was it?
So I was born in Iowa. So Iowa is kind of in the middle of the United States and a little bit north. So it gets, the cold and it gets hot too. So our summers are hot and our winters have snow.
So you have 4 seasons.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you miss snowing?
I miss, it's kind of nice when you see the seasons because you see the year like progressing, where here it's always, like, the same.
You don't know what season is. We ask students at school and they don't know. They don't know, like, are we in winter or summer?
Yeah,
exactly. Never know. That's how it is.
Yes. Right. Yeah. But it's nice.
Yeah. And what are these differences between Brazil and the US when we talk about the schools, for example?
Yeah. So what I wrote down to talk to you guys about was, so school in the US starts, hold on, my kids are knocking on the window. I'm sorry. So school in the US, it starts in August. Hold on.
It's okay.
No, go. So school in the US, it starts in August and it ends in May. So the time is really different of our start and finish. And that's so we have summer off. So our summer, and July is our summer break. And then, so school starts at 8 and it ends at 3:30. So it starts at 8 in the morning and ends at 3:30. There's lots of extras like art class, not swimming class, but art class, PE, just those kinds of things, music, those are all incorporated into the school day. And the older kids move from classroom to classroom. In every classroom, you have a different group of kids with you.
Okay, that's cool. So you socialize with everybody.
Yeah, and sometimes you'll mix the grades too. So maybe there's, a freshman with a sophomore in the same class. So everybody's kind of mixed together. Lots of extracurricular activities, volleyball, basketball, sports. And sports are huge. So football, in the US is a really big deal. Basketball, just, your extracurriculars are a big thing. And I also wrote down our daily schedule. Typically this was our daily schedule. So we would get up about 7 a.m. and you would go to school at 8, and then the kids would have a snack and lunch, and then they would go home. And usually when they got home from school, they were starving, so they would have a snack. And then they do homework, play, eat supper, around 5:30 to 6:30. So we eat really early supper. And then our kids go to bed at like 8. So we still kind of follow that here, which we're trying to get more Brazilian, but it's hard because I really like that free time at night too. So we do that. For food, breakfast is usually something fast because we go to school early. So it's usually cereal, toast, just something that you can whip up quick. And then lunch at school is usually small. I mean, there's usually a protein, like maybe it's a hamburger, French fries, and a cookie or something like that, and broccoli. And then usually supper is big, and we usually eat that with the family.
That's the main meal at night.
Yeah. Main meals at night.
Yeah, then families cook and then get around the table and then talk about the day.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. I have a question about the school. Kids, they get home back at between 4 to 5. What about those parents? They work later on. What happens? We need to have a parent at home to receive the kids, right?
Yes. So usually what happens is for the younger kids in the elementary schools, the school will have like an after school program where you pay a little bit and your child will go there. Or a lot of daycares in the US, which usually for daycare, the kids don't go to a creche. They usually go to like somebody's house who is like a watcher, or a babysitter. And usually you'll just go there for like an hour or two, and then your parents pick you up from the babysitter.
Cool. Very nice.
Yeah.
And about the culture, the differences between the two countries that you are finding interesting.
I think, I don't know, what you mean school-wise?
Everything you see the difference between when you lived your whole life in the US and here in Brazil now, maybe about people and everything you have difference. We have differences, right? I'm not telling you to say if it is better or not, but to give some points that would help a lot.
Yeah, it's very different. I would say, let's see. Well, like people here are a lot more like willing to talk to you, I feel like, and in the US, you kind of have to work harder for friendships, I feel like, but once you make friends, they're your friends, where here it's like everybody's kind of open arms. I feel like the food here is a lot healthier for you. It's a lot fresher. It's a lot better for your health. But the bad thing is that everything here takes a lot longer to prepare. So, like, I'm used to when my kids would come home from school and I'd be, running short on time. You throw a box of macaroni and cheese and some hot dogs, and in 10 minutes, your food is ready. Where here, it's a lot longer.
Exactly. Here we have to cook rice, beans, meat, and it takes at least an hour to get your lunch. And then the difference also is that here, usually we have lunch and dinner. We have 4 meals a day, right? We have breakfast, lunch, snack in the afternoon, and then dinner again.
Yeah.
So usually we need to cook twice at least. We need to cook at lunchtime and then dinner time. But not everybody does that, of course.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
But you know what? When I used to live in the US, I used to eat healthier than now.
Really?
Yeah. I used to eat lots of salads and fruit and grilled chicken, stuff like that, because it was easier to buy them on the supermarket or any place around the neighborhood.
Mhm.
It was
Oh
easy
yeah.
to buy, right?
That's what I miss too. And like when we would be in the US, you would buy like a big box of strawberries and it would be good like for 2 weeks before it would start going bad. You know,
Right,
where here it's probably less processed. It's probably healthier. But here it's like if I buy strawberries, we have to eat it in 2 to 3 days, otherwise it goes bad.
right. That's the truth.
Yes.
All right, guys. We are talking for 22 minutes already. No stop. I would like to ask everybody. Agora eu vou abrir para todos, okay? If you wanna ask something, you just can ask something. Nachi, did you have anything on the chat to ask?
Yes, we have something here. Jotaro Cujo, I don't know if I did it right. He says, did you think about getting your kids to do a martial art, like karate, judo, or something?
We have thought about that. My daughter really wants to do horseback riding lessons, and we've thought about doing dance, and my son wants to do jujitsu. But we're kind of waiting until they learn Portuguese a little bit better, just so they don't have to struggle in the class as much. So once they have Portuguese a little better, we're hoping, and too, once we get used to, I feel like we're still kind of learning the culture and kind of settling, you know, and this coronavirus kind of messed things up too. So, but once we get settled, we're definitely hoping to get them in more activities.
Okay, that's great. We just have this question on the chat, but I think some kids, they raise their hands. I think they want to ask.
Perfect.
I know we had, let me ask somebody here. I can't see everybody in the same room, but we have Augusto or Gustavo, I don't remember actually, sorry, that he had a piece of paper like this big with many questions for you.
Oh, awesome.
So is there anybody who wants to talk to Kelly? Alguém quer falar com a Kelly?
Me?
Yeah. Carlos, please.
Oh, tá, eu tenho que falar inglês, mas her is very different from her you came from.
It is different. It's very hot here. So when we moved here was in November. So in November, where I'm from, it was snowing and it was cold. And we moved here and it was so hot. So it took me a while to get used to the heat, but now I'm good. I'm better. I said my blood got thin.
I know how you feel.
Yeah.
Zaki.
Manu, we have more questions on chat. Okay, on the chat. Do you like Brazil?
Do I like the what?
Do you like Brazil?
I do like Brazil. It's hard because I like both countries a lot. I love the US and I have things that I miss about it. But I love Brazil, and when we go back to the US, there's things that I miss. So there's good things in both places.
Okay. Heitor Refati, he asked, how is life in the United States?
It's good. I'm trying to think of what's really different. I mean, the thing that I miss the most is my shopping in the US. The thing that I miss most is probably Amazon, because in the US, you order it on the computer and in 3 days it's at your house. And here it's not so much. So that's probably the thing I miss the most.
Okay. Carolina Coelho, she asked, what did you find more different here in Brazil? What more?
I think the most difference is probably the food. Just because I feel like in the US, we have so many different cultures. Like where I lived, there's Mexican restaurants, there's Chinese, there's Indian, there's, you know, Japanese. And here it's more, I mean, when I would eat, like at my house when I was younger, like one night we would have steak, one night we would have, you know, hamburgers, another night we would have Mexican. And it just, you know, you just kind of eat all different cultures. And here it's everyday beans and rice, you know?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So that's probably the biggest difference for me, I think.
Okay. So Zaki Holder, I don't know, guys, if I'm saying your names right. I'm sorry if I'm not saying it right. What are the most, I think, what is the musical style? What are the most heard musical style in the United States?
Oh, I think it's like here, you know, everybody has their preferences. So where I'm from, I lived in like an agriculture town also. So there was a lot of country music that was pretty popular. A lot of pop, you know, hip hop. Everybody likes different things, you know, just like here.
That's true. O Heitor, repare, he asked you if you can say something in Portuguese. Anything in Portuguese?
Sim, eu falo português, so não é perfeito.
Very good. Natália, eu tô vendo você com o dedinho ali, pode falar.
Eu ia perguntar, how was the city what you used to live in the United States?
So the city that I grew up in was very small. So it has 1,500 people in the town. So it's a very small town. And we have a little grocery store in my town, but most of the time to buy anything like that you want, you have to drive half an hour to the bigger town or an hour and a half to the city. So that's why I think I'm doing good here in Lucas, because I'm kind of used to it. But that's the town that I'm from. And in the school had like 500 kids, and it was from kindergarten to 12th grade. But now they've joined schools with another town, so it's bigger. But I mean, I was from a really small town, and like we talked before, it had the 4 seasons. So we got snow, sun, and all those kinds of things.
Great. Now, let me tell Guilherme, you can ask, then Pedro, okay? Guilherme, where are you? You disappeared. There.
Hi. Sorry. What city you think of Brazil?
What city, what?
I think he asked, what do you
about
think?
Brazil? What do you think about Brazil?
What do I think about Brazil? I really like it. I love Brazil. I love, you know, it's nice. In the US where I lived, we had the snow, which is fun when you're outside for like 10 minutes and then you get really cold. Where here it's really nice that we can be outside all year round. So that's really nice. I really like Brazil. I love the people. I love the food. It's good.
Great. Pedro, go ahead.
Yeah. What
it's
do
me or
you like here?
What do I like here? I really like the food. I love food. I love the desserts here. They're really good. It's really different from the US. The desserts here, I really like sweet stuff. The only thing I don't like about food here is the chocolate. I miss the US chocolate because it's different. But the food and the desserts, like I really like pudim. I really like mousse de maracujá. I made that today. So those are all some of my favorite things.
Okay, Guilherme.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very good. Pedro, now
Okay.
you can start.
So, thanks for letting me speak now. So, how did you learn Brazilian? I don't know this. Did you hire as a private teacher or did you just go into school?
So my husband is actually a Brazilian. So he went to my school in the United States as a foreign exchange student, is how we met. So then I went to Brazil a few times and visited and learned the language and that stuff. And now we ended up here. So.
Great. José?
What do you think of Brazilian cultures?
It's very fun. I feel like I was kind of really sad because I was really looking forward to doing Festas Juniors because I've never done that before, and this coronavirus kind of ruined it. But I really enjoy it. The culture is so nice. It's fun. Everybody's so happy, you know, and that stuff. And it's just different. It's neat. It's a totally different atmosphere for holidays, for cultures. And it's just kind of fun to experience something different.
Great. And then we learned with you too, because I didn't know about the, it was May 1st,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I didn't really know. I lived so many years and I didn't really know about May 1st.
Yes, May Day is a fun day where you go around and you bring little baskets to your friends of little goodies, or sometimes people bring flowers and they knock on the door and run as fast as you can and you hope they don't see you and they just get a little goodie basket.
Very good.
Yes.
Very nice. We have a friend here, Tati. Tati, would you like to say hi?
Oops.
Hi, I think now my microphone is on, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Hello guys. Hi, Kelly. It's good to see you
Hi.
again. Even Manu, because
Yes.
we haven't seen each other for a long time. That's crazy. Hey, Nicole, how are you? So yeah, talking about the May Day. Yeah, I got your goodies, right?
Yes. Yes.
So good, so tasty, and so different from our desserts here. Yeah, Gabriel just loved it very much.
Good.
And I just want to congratulate you guys for this class. It's really good, Manu. Well done. This is a good way for the kids to talk and to listen to Kelly and you as well, and keep in touch with the language. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
You couldn't miss, right?
Yeah, of course not.
Kelly, you know, we worked together for so many years, and Tati, I, and Barbara also.
Yeah, Barbara too. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we started with Natalia, our Miss Natalia, Annie. Yasmin is not here on the screen. I can't see her right now. And I can't see many students now. I'm sorry. But is there anybody else who wants to ask a question to Kelly or want to have a conversation and talk? Anybody?
Question.
Okay.
Go for it. Go first. Right. So there's been a thing that's been bugging me ever since I learned English. I think that my accent looks a little bit weird whenever I talk. Like I am pretty advanced at talking it, but the thing is, it looks like my accent looks a little bit weird whenever I talk.
Well, I don't think I hear too bad of an accent. You know, I tell a lot of people this. The biggest thing about learning a new language is being able to communicate, you know, and that's kind of how I am with my Portuguese. I know I have an accent. I know I don't speak the words perfectly, but people can usually understand what I need to say, and that's the most important thing, you know. Perfecting your accent is great. You know, listening to music helps a lot. Watching, you know, listening to songs, watching TV, and just repeating it, you know, in the shower, you know, sing your song in English where nobody's listening and you feel confident, and it just helps you learn, you know, to, you know, speak like an American, I guess. The biggest thing, you know, the TH sound, I've been teaching, you know, there's the voiced and the voiceless. So there's, you know, different ways to perfect your sound. You know, the voiceless, you're going to go, and the voiced, you're going to feel it like, So it's funny, you know, there's all different quirky things you do to learn how to, you know, train your tongue to do things so you don't have the accent. I still can't roll my tongue like a Brazilian, but I'm trying. But yeah, the most important thing about learning the language is, you know, being able to communicate. And if anybody gives you a hard time about your accent, you know, just keep going. So.
Yeah, because even in the United States, inside like 50 states, we have different accents between among the states, right? We have like a New Yorker accent, and then Floridian, and then people from California, Michigan. I mean, every state we have different accents also.
Oh yes, and yeah, I know New York. Sometimes I can't understand New Yorkers, how they talk.
I worked
and
with
they're always very
New Yorker
angry
for
and fast.
years.
Yes.
That was so funny because we learned at school that we need to pronounce the TH with right?
Yes.
Thank you. And then in New Yorkers, they don't pronounce like that. They pronounce with F. And then I was like, why do I need to pronounce that way? And they can't. So that doesn't make sense, right?
Yes.
Very good, Natalia. You want to ask another question? Natalia Lemos?
I have 4 questions. I heard that you eat a lot of fast food. Is it true?
Okay, so fast food. A lot of kids right now are in dance, you know, gymnastics, karate, all kinds of after school activities. So because we like to go to bed early, a lot of parents, we do fast food because it's hard for us to make a meal at supper time. So another thing, you know, we're trying to do is they're trying to make the fast food healthier, but fast food is fast food, you know? So yes, we do eat a lot of fast food. My kids really miss the fast food, but it's probably a good thing we don't have it here.
I mean, we like in Brazil, we have pizza, we have McDonald's, Burger King, and stuff, but still, it's nothing compared to American. There's so much more out there in the United States than here. That I can say.
Yeah, and like I feel like here in Brazil, McDonald's is kind of like a nice place to eat. You know, like you go there when you're going out. And in the US, it's like you go there to eat quick and to leave. You know, it's not a place where you're gonna sit and talk to your friends. Really, it's just drive through and get the food and go and eat it. So it's a different even atmosphere for fast food, and even like the Subway here doesn't have a drive-through, which I thought that was so bizarre. But you know, like every restaurant in the US usually wants to have a drive-through so you can get your food and take it with you.
Did you like the culture of Brazil?
I do. I love the culture of Brazil. It's very different from the US, but it's so fun to experience it.
Here in Mato Grosso, is very hot. Have you used to it?
I am finally getting used to it. At first, it was really hard, and I was dying. It was really hot. But now I'm doing better. I said I think my blood got thinner because it was really hot at first, but now it's good.
And do you eat marshmallow at the state on the USA?
Yes, we do. We eat marshmallows, and usually we have like a bonfire, is what we call it. It's when you have a fire, and you can either roast on the fire just the marshmallow, or you could make a sandwich out of it. We call it a s'more, and it's a cracker that has like canela, cinnamon. So it has the cracker and then a piece of chocolate and then the marshmallow, and then you put another cracker on top, and it's delicious.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Very good. Isabella?
Do you like Brazilian sports?
I'd love to watch soccer, but I don't have a team. So I think I'm better that way because I don't make anybody mad. So I love to watch soccer. We went to the Pan American Olympics one time in Rio, and that was really fun. My husband likes to watch bicycling, so we watched some cycling sports, and we actually were in Rio during the Olympics too, so we got to see, I think we walked past some volleyball tournaments, but we didn't actually go into any of them.
Very good. Heitor is asking something. He's asking if you've been to the beaches here in the Northeast.
Yes, so my husband is actually from Rio de Janeiro, from the state. So he's a carioca, is what they say. So we have been to Rio, but the beaches there are so crowded. So we don't usually like to go to the beach there, but we go to Gruçaí, which is another beach that's kind of close to there, that we like to visit.
Very good. Guilherme, you want to ask another question?
Yeah. Did you exchange or did you come to stay?
We are planning to be here for like 5 years. It's kind of the plan, but we don't really know. It's one of those things where we'll find out.
We're going to miss you a lot.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, Guilherme. Yes? Carlos, go ahead.
Tá. Desculpa se alguém já tiver falado, mas why did you come to Lucas
Here?
We came here in November of 2019, so last November, and it was for my husband's work.
Very good. Anybody else? Let's participate, guys. Take your time. Zaki, okay. What are the most famous band? He loves songs. He loves music.
Music? Oh boy, Zaki. I am not sure. I'm really bad. I like all music, so I don't really have a like favorite thing. I'm trying to think of who's really popular right now. I mean, if you look at who does the Super Bowl shows, those are always popular people. So Beyonce, Adam Levine, some of
Jennifer
those people.
Lopez. This about
yeah, I'm really bad at music,
right?
Yeah.
I know.
The only thing that we
Very
close to the
good.
Super Bowl is Rock in Rio. That's the closest thing that we can get. Besides that, nada.
I hear that is super cool. I really want to go to that. It sounds really cool.
The other one that I can also remember, I think it's Lollapalooza, which is an event that mostly happens like at the end of the year. But yeah, it's the
Okay.
these two are the biggest events for music if you want to go there. Normally it's like Lollapalooza in Rio de Janeiro and Rock in Rio. Maybe it's like in São Paulo, at least maybe. But then again, it's not change the location every time. So yeah, you could watch out for that.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I remember one year Rihanna went there, and I love Rihanna. She's my favorite. See, right now the music I'm listening to is Moana, Frozen. I feel like I'm kind of outdated on music.
I know how you feel.
Yeah.
How do you say galinha pintadinha?
We don't have it, Galinha Pintadinha.
In English?
Yeah, it would be like the painted chicken, but yeah.
You are so lucky.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Very good. All right. I think we're going far away here. And then I want to thank you guys, everybody actually. I just lost here. It was Alexandre who was speaking right now. But you guys are very good. I mean, I'm so proud of you. And I'm very happy to. I need to tell you the truth. When I first started with this idea of coming up with this conversation, I was kind of like afraid nobody would come in and talk, and I was, oh my God, that's gonna be only Kelly and me in the chat. But then I realized, yeah, everybody really wants to learn English and other languages. I'm not talking only about English. I'm talking about other languages, and I would like them to know how it is, the other side, like you, American, learning Portuguese. So it is hard. Yes, it is. It is hard to go abroad and live in another country and go through all the cultures and meet new people. And then you have a family, you have to bring everybody and then start over. I know how it is, but I think it's worth it, right?
Oh, totally. And I'm so excited for our kids to have the opportunity, to really learn a language. So that was the main excitement about moving here. So.
Perfect. And then I really hope we have more moments like these to improve. Like I was telling you the other day, and I remember when I first came back to Brazil, my fluency was so different. And then now I feel sometimes like I miss words, I don't remember. And then I have to go to Google or something, the apps we have in the cell phone to remember about the pronunciation and things like that. But I guess that's normal, right?
Yeah.
So we need to keep it up, I think.
For sure. I was going to say, I had a tip for language, and the tip that I was going to tell people was learn vocabulary. And, set a goal for yourself. Like this week, I want to learn 5 new words in English. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but if you keep doing that, it'll really be surprising how many words you'll pick up, and it's just some way to even just work your brain. It's like a little workout for your brain.
Right. Sometimes I even dream in English. It is
That's
so
good.
fun. Yeah, I dream. I dream about when I used to live there, working, even fighting with somebody. That's funny, but I dream about it. And I wake up and I say, wow, that's good. So my brain is still working on it, right?
Yes, that's good. It means you're still thinking in it sometimes.
Hey guys, may I just add something here? Yes, if it's possible. So what she said about learning vocabulary is important, right? But I'm seeing lots of students here just typing some questions. Maybe it's a good thing just you guys give it a try as well as speaking. Yeah, as the guy said before, the accent, we always have the accent, right? I think the most important thing is to precise our pronunciation on the words, right? This is important to say the words properly. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure you guys have awesome teacher to help you guys to do that. So please just give it a shot, give it a try. Yeah. Sometimes speaking is better than just write. And I want to congratulate the guys who have the courage. Yeah. Be brave and ask the questions, right? This is good. This is really good.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Yesterday I was talking to a lady. She lives in Sorriso for many years. Maybe she has been living in Brazil for maybe 40 years. And then I could realize she was from another country. And then I asked her, I say, where are you from? And then she says, I'm from England. And I say, wow, nice. Your Portuguese is great, but she still have the accent. So this is okay. You know,
Yeah.
I never got worried about that, because when I used to live in the US, I used to play with my friends. It was just a game. And then people used to talk. We didn't know these people. And then I would say, okay, she's from Colombia. And then they said, oh no, she's from Brazil, because we knew the accent from every country.
Yeah.
When you live in the country for many years, you know where this person is from. If she is from Argentina, she's from Brazil, she's from Colombia, she is from Italy. I mean, everyone has, right?
Yeah, that's right. The more you speak, the more confident you get, so you can communicate. It doesn't matter your accent, right?
Yes,
Great.
exactly.
Very good, everybody. I really want to thank you all. Thank Kelly and the teachers. They're here with us, the misses, right? And thank you, girls, for being here. Thank you, the students, for taking part of this moment, which is very good for me and everybody, and to practice. I'm sure we're going to do this many other times. I'm sure with Kelly or other people. If Kelly is available, we're going to do this at least once a month.
Yes.
No, sorry. We have a lot of questions on the chat. I don't think we have time to answer it all. So the kids are asking if we are going to answer these questions. I think we don't have time more, right? We don't have more time.
Let me see. How is it life in the United States? Alana asked.
It's good. Yeah, I don't know how to answer that really. It's different than here, but I mean, there's pros and cons to both sides. I guess it's a bit more structured, you know, like one thing my husband and I always joke about is if there's a party at 7:00 here, we show up at 7:30, so we're not looking weird, you know. But if there's a party at 7 in the US, you show up at like 6:55, you know, you show up a little early.
Yeah, so I'm the weirdo because I always show up on time.
Yeah, I am too. I'm always the first one there. So
I know. Heitor was asking if you have seen any Brazilian Brazilian movie.
ooh, I watched I mean, now with the coronavirus, I've been on Netflix a lot, and I watched a Brazilian film on Netflix the other day, but I can't remember what it was called. It wasn't a famous film. It was like something about a girl being addicted to her cell phone.
Okay. Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
Can you speak other languages besides Portuguese?
So I learned Spanish in high school, but once I started learning Portuguese, I just I think the Portuguese just overlapped my Spanish, so it's gone.
Right.
But
and there's somebody asking about Brazilian typical food. If there is any you prefer?
I really like bacalhau because that's something that we don't have in the U.S. The carne seca, I really like salty food. So the bacalhau, the carne seca, moqueca, that fish with the coconut milk. I really like that. I really love the street food. Coxinha, pastel, quibe, bolinho de bacalhau. Those things are really good. Anything bad, brigadeiro,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So to finish our conversation, I'm going to tell Guilherme to finish our conversation. Yes, Guilherme? Okay.
Eu queria falar how was it for you to move to another country?
It was good because I had done it once before with my daughter, so I kind of knew what to expect. Or I did it once before when I was pregnant. I was 8 months pregnant when we moved to Sao Paulo. But this time, when we moved, we had 13 suitcases and a dog and my 2 kids. So it was a lot to manage. And it just was horrible. And my husband and I just said these next 24 hours are going to be horrible, but we'll get through it. So we did.
So you're really meant to be here.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. So, and then once we got here, it's kind of like, what?
Do you speak?
Yes.
Do you speak Portuguese?
Yep. Thankfully I do.
Natalia is asking if your house has separate garage like in the US.
If we have what? A separate garage?
Yeah.
So our house in the US, the house was attached to the garage, but the difference is like there's never a wall around your house, like ever. You never see that. You can always see the house. There might be some trees in front of it blocking your view, but never do you have like a wall with electricity or anything.
Right.
That was really weird the first time I moved here. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Actually, some houses in Lucas are still like that.
Yes, I've seen some.
Yeah, but that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to let her go. I know you guys want to keep it up here, but we can't.
We'll have to do this again.
Right. Yes, we do. Thank you. Thank you. And then have a good weekend. I hope to see you soon here. All right?
Yes. Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody. I'm going to stop recording here. Bye. Have a nice day, nice weekend.